Deal with that in a minute. Doesn't show very well. Nothing inappropriate. It's my puppy. Which honestly, him laying on me is what. Chewy. What are you doing? Don't fall. Really? What are you doing? Oh, Chewy. Oh, that hurts. Chewy, that hurts. Oh. Can't have you laying on my chest. Okay. As I was saying, this is my fur baby. His name is Chewy. He's a total character. And usually believes he should be the center of all attention. Pretty much because he's spoiled and he really knows he's spoiled. Can I get back to what I was doing now? I'm loving on you. Okay. Thank you. I gotta fix my hair again. Whatever. Anyway, honestly, him laying on me reminded me of one of the things that I wanted to cover for you guys. Morality. Now, with the exception of a handful of things like murder, doing things to kids, it tends to be a really grayscale. Most people will at least claim that they believe in karma or do unto others as you'd have them do unto you, or any version of the golden rule. But if you actually pay attention, most people that claim they believe in those don't live like they do. This is driving me nuts. And what I mean by that is really simple. There was somebody that I used to be really close to. She claimed that she believed in karma, but she was absolutely fine doing bad things to people that didn't deserve it. Now, I'm sorry, but if you believe what goes around comes around, if you believe in karma or any version of the golden rule, then you would be wary of doing harm to others. And just to clarify, by harm, it don't necessarily mean physical harm. If I steal your car, I've done harm to you without touching you. It just cheap ass example. Now, I know this isn't really all encompassing, but it's one of those, there's two types of people in the world. This one I know is not completely accurate, but I feel it has a lot of truth to it. That most people that say that they believe in these things don't live like they do. And let's be honest, if it doesn't change the way you live, then you don't actually believe in it. Doesn't matter how good it sounds, doesn't matter how right it feels. If you're not living it, then it doesn't actually mean anything to you. And then on the flip side, there's people like me. I wish karma was real. I wish the golden rule was followed. Oh. But I live like I believe in it. Okay, that's much better. Sorry, the little bit of research, I don't know true or not, but I found a thing that says that green light is good for migraines. And I have them constantly. But, so, like I was saying, it's a funny bit of a conundrum that if you pay attention to the way that people live, I'm not saying this is right, but it's just something that I feel. I feel like most of the people that say that they believe in these things do not live as though they do. I could be wrong. That's just how it's been in my experience. And it was a few years ago, went through some really bad times. But this little hairy asshole over here, he made me realize the truth of a saying that I had heard but never recognized, that a dog takes after their owner. If you want to see what type of person someone is, that you should pay attention to their dog. Now, the funny part here is that I'm actually a cat person. Don't get me wrong, I love this little asshole to death. I would bury a motherfucker over him. Oh, I cuss. I don't care. But, with cats, that's not as true because cats very much hold their own personality. They'll learn things from you, but they're not going to strongly take after you. And I can't do a frame of reference for any other types of pets, any type of reptiles. I don't see who their owner is really making a difference. I could be wrong. I don't have any experience there to say either way. But so if you know somebody that has a dog and they've had him for a long time, he's 3.5 years old. I got him when he was 2 months old. Yes, I raised the little bastard. He's my baby, my fur baby. Honestly, one of the things that I was hoping for trying to get in touch with you guys is one of you would be willing to take him when I'm no longer around, but because I know him well enough. He doesn't take strongly to too many people, but he's friendly in general, and I know he would take strongly to the both of you. I wholeheartedly believe something in him would recognize that you're pieces of me. Quick side note while it's on my mind. I don't remember if I said this when I made that last video. Elijah, I saw you in the car when I showed up at your house to try to see you guys. From what I was told, you're not willing to talk to me, and that is the reason why I didn't try to approach you or speak to you. I knew who you were immediately. I don't know if the choice that I made was right or wrong. Honestly, it feels like my entire life, almost every single choice I've ever made has always been the wrong one. Don't get me wrong, I consciously know that that can't be true, but it doesn't change the fact that it feels that way. But, knowing that you weren't willing to talk to me yet is the reason I did not approach you. Whether it was the right choice or the wrong choice, I have no clue. But that was the choice that I made because I was trying to respect your wishes. Do I want to be in your life? Absolutely. Do I want to get to know you? Absolutely. But I feel like trying to approach you at that point in time would have been showing disrespect to you. And if I didn't know, it would have been a different story. But according to Jennifer, back in April, when Maybell asked the two of you if you were willing to get to know me, Jennifer told me that you were not willing, while Michaela was. I never got a chance to see Michaela. But anyway, I just wanted to hit that while it was on my mind because I don't remember if I said anything about it in the other video. And anyway, back on the morality, and if you want to know where somebody stands with their own morality, ignore what they say, watch what they do. Most people will make it sound as though that they are good people. Whether or not this is true is completely irrelevant to the fact that most people want to sound like they are moral, that they are upright. Very few people are honest with themselves, let alone other people. This is annoying me. So that's why the things people say very rarely hold really any real weight. And let's be honest, if somebody can't be honest with themselves about the things they do, the things that they say, you can't expect them to be honest with anybody else. The truth when it comes to morality is that more often than not, people are deceiving themselves. And by extension, they end up deceiving others. Another little test for morality is revenge. Now, yeah, it may sound a little messed up, but hear me out. If a person goes out and seeks revenge, obviously they're not a moral person. Now, alternatively, you've got the people that will say that they want revenge. They'll say these horrible things that they want to do. But if you pay attention, it's in the heat of the moment. They were hurt really badly and they're venting, but they don't actually act on any of this. The last time that I was hurt deeply, and I'm skipping over Maybell's. The time before that, when I was hurt deeply, there were times that I said that I wanted to do some things. I had said that I wanted to go and fuck up her car, but I never did. In the heat of the moment, I was hurting. I was, in a sense, lashing out. But regardless of all of the things that I said that I wanted to do, I can very honestly say I never did anything to hurt her. I can also say that she deserved it. That if I had done something, that it would have been well more than fair, but I didn't. When we're hurting, when we're angry, we're more prone to say things that we'll regret. We're more prone to say things we don't truly mean. It's just that we need to get that out of us in that time. We're trying to process what we just went through. And I don't think it's right to hold that against anybody. Now, if the person actually goes out and does these things, if the person actually goes out and does something to hurt the individual or get revenge, then absolutely, that is not a moral person. That is something you should absolutely hold against them. Because the truth be told, if they'll do it to somebody else, they'll do it to you. It's a matter of self protection at that point to keep somebody like that from being close to you. But like I said, the problem with it is you really have to pay attention because people like to sound like they are moral, sound like they're upright. So you really have to pay attention to the things that they do. You got to pay attention to when the things that they say contradict themselves. Say that you believe in karma, but then turn around and make it clear that you don't have any second thoughts about hurting somebody. But here's a truth not many people really truly understand. Revenge doesn't help you. You might feel better in the moment, but in the long run, it's self-destruction. But you also need to balance for your own safety. You need to create a boundary that people know you do not cross this line. The reason that I say that is because I've realized in my own life, I have talked about wanting to get revenge so many times and to so many people that I could prove deserved it, but I've never done it. It's just not in me. And that's Tammy's fault. And while, yes, that's helped me on a somewhat spiritual or an emotional level, it's hurt me in more ways than I can count. The reason is pretty simple. It's because other people see this and start to notice the pattern and realize you're not going to do anything. And if they believe that you're not going to do anything, then the immoral people of the world are going to feel that they can walk all over you. We humans are walking contradictions. Everybody says that they want peace, but if you're not ready for war, you'll never have peace. We try to balance our logic and emotion, but they're constantly at war with each other. A psychology thing that I heard, and I very strongly side with it. In all of of us, we have both the great capacity for good and evil. We have light and shadow within us. And the more we try to repress our shadow, the more destructive it becomes. It is better to be whole than it is to be perfect. And to be whole is not rejecting your darker side. It's effectively making peace with it, understanding that it's part of you, but at the same time not letting it take control of you. All of us have good and bad in us. Anybody that says to the contrary would be an absolute idiot. And for those that try to argue it, I like to go to extremely controversial points. The vast majority of the world would universally agree that Adolf Hitler was an absolutely horrible person. The vast majority of the world would also say that there was nothing redeemable about him, that he never did anything good. But if you actually look at the social reforms that he made to his country, if you looked at the changes that he made to their educational systems, those were things that he had. Well, some of his social reforms were good, not all of them, obviously. But the changes he made to the educational system actually helped Germany to progress. Don't get me wrong, he's not a moral person. He's not somebody to look up to. I point out these things because it's proof that somebody that is almost universally regarded as being Satan's spawn, pure evil, there were things that he did right. And let's be honest, if somebody that is basically universally agreed to be pure evil can be proven that they did some things that were really good, then it's really, really hard to say that there's anybody out there that's pure evil, because there's not. Now, there may be some exceptions for people that are really screwed in the head. Take any of the serial killers, for example, but I haven't researched them to say either way, and not trying to go down that path. The short version is, no matter how good somebody may seem, no matter how evil somebody may seem, everybody has both. Everybody has both light and dark, good and evil inside them. And too many people think that trying to hide from their darker side, trying to suppress it, is the way to be good. No. I follow the same train of thought that I do with darker emotions, anger, hatred, depression. That these things, like your shadow, the more you try to control it, the more you try to suppress it, the more dangerous it becomes to you. Because just like acid, it destroys whatever's holding on to it. I wish I would have learned this many years ago. My life might have been very different. But it is better to be whole than it is to be perfect. It is better to embrace and recognize both the good and the bad in your life, both the light and the shadow, and have a balance there. Yes, dark emotions can be very much self-destructive, but if you make a peace with them and you have it to the point that it does not control you, but you recognize it's there, then you can also recognize that these things can, not necessarily will, but can have value. And one of the easiest points is the fact that if you are able to channel your negative emotions in a positive method for you, it's going to help you to set boundaries that people are going to recognize. Don't cross that line with them. That is not somebody that you can just walk over. That person deserves respect. As long as you respect them, you're fine. If you start to disrespect them, you're going to have problems. I really do wonder how much different my life could have been if I had learned that lesson early on. No, honestly, though, the last couple of months, I've been listening to a lot of psychology things, and I guess you could say dark motivational. There's a YouTube channel called Dark Force that a lot of what they do has been speaking to me. Though I also recognize that I doubt that there's very many people before adulthood that would really have that channel speaking to them, because you have to have been through some stuff for that before it to really sink in and make sense. And if you guys were to listen to it today, I would desperately hope that it doesn't make sense to you. Because if you can't get it, if you can't relate to it, then that's because you haven't been through those things. And I hope more than anything that you guys have a much better life than I did. It's part of the reason why I'm making these videos. Like I said early on, I want to make sure that even if I never get to see you, even if I never get to know you, that you can get to know me, and hopefully that you can learn from me some things that would help make your lives better, would make your lives easier. Something that I've said for years. Something that I recognized when I finally realized that I had raised Cheyenne like a daughter. I realized when I knew that I wanted to raise the two of you the same way that I raised her. The true mark of a parent is wanting your kids to be better than you are. I don't care what anybody says. If you find somebody that's not concerned with their children having better lives than they did, with their children's being better people than they were, that's not somebody I can respect as a parent. They might raise their kids. They might, in general, try to do right for them. But hell, complete strangers can do that. Little side note on that one. So many people try to make it sound as if the world is such a dangerous place nowadays. Don't get me wrong. We should be on guard. But let's take shootings in general. If 1% of legal gun owners in America were part of the problem, we would be under military law. If 1% of men were these serial rapists, as feminazis like to claim, we'd be a very different place. And right quick on that one, I completely support equality. I don't care what gender you are. I don't care what color you are. I don't care what your religion, your sexual preference, your political affiliations. None of that matters. We should all be treated equally. And I mean equally across the board. And that was the original feminist movement, which I absolutely support. There are those in the modern version that it's no longer about equality. There are some that advocate for murdering all men. There are those that believe that men should become subservient, that women are absolutely better than men in all rights. Men and women, neither's better than the other. There are things that women are generally better at than men. There are things that men are generally better at than women. Doesn't mean that there's not exceptions. Cheap, lazy example, men are usually physically stronger, but it doesn't mean that there aren't women out there that are strong enough to take down the majority of men that they would run into. Cheyenne's a perfect example. She's put a few guys in the hospital that tried her. I'm very proud of her for that. And I say that I'm proud of her for it simply because it was self-defense. They tried her, she defended herself, and they needed medical attention. Exactly how I raised her. I don't care who you are, I don't care anything about you. Everybody has the right to defend themselves. Gender, color, age, none of that means anything. If you put your hands on somebody, they have every right to put you down. Now, I don't mean kill you. If you pull out a weapon, it's a whole other story, but I'm under the reference of hand to hand, one-on-one, they have the right to beat some sense into you. And I kind of needed to touch on this one because when me and Jennifer first got together, that was one of the things that she had a hard time with. She would hit me and I hit back. There are many people that think that I was wrong for that. Tammy is not a moral person. She's not somebody to look up to, but she's not somebody that I want ever in my life. I cut her off many years ago, and I don't ever want to change that. Because she can't be honest with herself. But anyway, I brought it up because one of the things that she taught me that I absolutely agree with is, and these were her words, when a woman puts her hands on a man, she puts herself in the place of a man. Jennifer was apparently raised, and man never puts his hands on a woman. But the problem with that ideology is it gives women free rein to assault men. And you're teaching these women that men do not have the right to defend themselves because you're a woman. That is sexist bullshit propaganda. If you don't want somebody to put their hands on you, don't put your hands on them. Now, if they put their hands on you first, ding, 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 round one, go for the knockout. semi-random tangent on that one. And this one is more true for males than it is females. I'm certain there are females out there that this would be true of. But I could count on one hand how many females I know of that this would be true of. And I'm 40 years old. As long as a fight is one-on-one, no weapons, basically as long as it's a fair fight, there's no reason for anybody to get involved. Let them settle their differences. Elementary school is one of the easiest places to point this out. Boys argue about something. They start fighting each other. When they're finally done fighting, obviously assuming it was a fair fight, one-on-one, the next day they usually end up friends. Earlier I said that we humans are effectively walking contradictions. Yeah, I made peace with the guy that I got into a fight with. Yeah. Consciously, that makes no sense. I just know that it's true for a lot of males. Now, don't get me wrong. If one of them's down and the other starts stomping, yeah, that shit's going too far. I'm sorry. My brain really is freaking random. I can connect things that... When it comes to morality, everybody needs to take the time to sit down and think for themselves. These are the things that are important to me. These are the things that are, they'd be nice, but they're not important. And these are the things that don't matter to me at all. And the things that are important to you are the things that your life should be shaped around. I'm going to make another video right after this. It's my apology to you guys because there are some things that I need to get right. And this helped me to think of that one. But it deserves to be its own separate video because it's important. So when it comes to morality, you need to make peace with your darker side. Not let it roam free. Accept that it's there and learn to channel it for your benefit. Because if you suppress it, if you cage it, then you effectively give people permission to walk all over you. But if you make peace with it and you learn to control it and channel it, then you're able to very effectively set boundaries to keep yourself from being other people's punching bags, other people's doormats, anything along those lines. I'm pretty sure there's a lot more I could say, but I wasn't intending for this video to get to 40 minutes, yet here we are. So, Michaela, Elijah, I love you two more than anything. And I'm sorry I wasn't in your lives, but I wanted to be. Just please know that I have never given up on you, and I never will. I will die first. I love you both.